Woo! What's going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you guys today with the aftermath of the Lions at the Cardinals. Victory Monday, guys. Victory Monday. Finally pull one off. The Lions snap an 11-game losing streak. Needed this one. This was a good win for them. It wasn't one of those lucky wins or anything like that. Thought they played a pretty good game, both offensively and it's unbelievably, especially defensively. I never gave this game a chance. I never gave them a chance to beat the Cardinals, especially in Arizona. I just expect them to win, even at home. Even at home, I just didn't think they did because the Cardinals have been playing pretty good football as of lately. They were 2-0 going into this game. They, I don't know. It's hard to. It's not hard to gauge it, but it's hard to kind of analyze this game because don't really know what they're about right now. The Lions, they don't have an identity. It's kind of offensively, but you know what I mean. They're not totally on par or totally on course with their offense as well. Their defense was trash last two weeks. Week 3, they come out, they do some different things, and they play better football. Caused some turnovers, did some good things. But I'll talk about that in a bit. Go over some numbers. Matt Stafford went 22 for 31, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. That's what I love to see too. A 70% pass completion percentage, which is really nice, and like 119 rating, QBR. So he had he had a good day. Missed a couple throws. Missed one big throw I thought was to Jesse James. I believe it was either James or Hawkinson. I think it was James. He missed him in the end zone, overthrew him, and then people say he missed him again, but I thought he was overthrowing him because he missed him by a country mile. He threw it right over his head. I think he felt the pressure, got rid of it, or it slipped out of his hand, something like that, because he really overthrew him. I don't think it was, I don't really think he was trying to get him the ball. It looked like he was trying to throw it away, but who knows? I thought he had a good game, nothing special, but he had a pretty good game. Did what he did at the end of the game, took a lot of time off the clock, got within field goal range, boom. Lions won like 26-23, so I'll take that any day of the week. Kyler Murray went 23 for 35 at a 65% completion percentage. He went 270 yards as well. 2 touchdowns with 3 INTs. Detroit Lions confused him all day. It looks like they flustered him all day. Every time you've seen him on the sidelines after a lot of possessions, you could see the frustration in Murray's face. They got to him. They pressured him a bit. They only sacked him once, I believe. I think it was Romeo Aquara. I'll talk about that in a bit. And then with a couple QB pressures, nothing great, but they confused them with some coverages. They confused them. They didn't stick in man. They didn't stick in man for 80% of the game, which they have been doing for the last 2 weeks. They mixed it up. That's what you need to do to win football games. You can't be so predictable. And the Lions were not predictable on this day, especially defensively. They were not predictable. And look, they win the game. Look what happens when you play a little defense, guys. So on to the numbers. Like I said, I'll go on and on and on about this stuff. Adrian Peterson with 22 carries for 75 yards at a 3.4% clip. Didn't have a great day, but they kept him. They kept going to the bull, and his average wasn't great, but they kept going to him, trying to run the clock out. I believe they ran a lot late in the game too. Kerryon Johnson only had 3 carries for 16 yards at a 5.3% clip. He wasn't really too involved. Swift had no carries at all. I'm wondering what's going on with him right now. Like last week, he caught like 6 or 7 balls with a few carries, and it seemed like they were kind of phasing out Kerryon on this one. So they haven't been really too predictable. They're predictable with Peterson. They're sticking with the horse. They're sticking with the 35-year-old. Seems like he's the one that they trust right now, and it's not too surprising. And I'm not surprised by it, but I think Swift needs to be more involved. You drafted that kid in the 2nd round, but it's kind of confusing what they're doing with him. But I kind of understand it a little bit to a point. But you got to give the kid carries, or you got to get him involved somehow. For the Cardinals, Kenyon Drank had 18 carries, 73 yards at a 4.1 clip. Murray had 5 carries for 29 yards, which is really good. He was running the ball the last 2 weeks really well. They contained him well. They spied him. They were on him. They didn't let him get outside much. He had a really nice touchdown run where he juked out Okuda's shorts. He juked him out of the shorts. He would have juked out 99% of the league on this run. It was an amazing run. It was at the goal line. He made a couple little head moves and swiveled his hips, got right past Okuda. Probably still has his cleats on the field. It was a beautiful run by Murray. But he did have a touchdown. Edmonds went 3 for 13. He didn't do too much, but it was mainly Drake, and they didn't do too bad containing him. He didn't have a great day. 73 yards on the ground at a 4.1. Like I said, that's not that bad, but it's not that great. They did pretty well defensively on those runners, so you like that. Now going to wide receivers and the tight ends. Galladay went 6 for 2. Galladay was back. It's beautiful to have him back. He went 6 for 57, 1 touchdown. Welcome back, Kenny G. Let's get you signed soon. Let's go. He had 7 targets as well, so nice clip there. Hawkinson went 4 for 53. That seems to be like his stat line in the last 3 weeks. Getting over 50 yards a game so far. I really like that on 7 targets. Marvin Jones, 3 catches for 51 yards. Then need to get him more involved on 3 targets. Jesse James, yes, the Jesse James that we paid a lot of money to come in as a backup tight end. Finally got his name on the stat sheet. Finally got his name talked about. He went 3 for 28 and a touchdown on 4 targets. So he got involved, which is good. There must have been some kind of meeting going on, man, with these Lions guys. Some kind of meeting with offensively and defensively, getting guys more involved. Then they went to Agnew, man. He went 2 for 20. He went 2 for 20 on 2 targets. So he got a little bit involved. I kind of ripped on this experiment last week. I was a little bit fed up with it. Like if you're gonna make this kid a wide receiver, if you're gonna do some things, use him. They tried to use him on a trick play once, I think, too. Threw him the ball. So he might have even got a handoff. I'm not even too sure. But they used him more. It seems like they got him more involved. He was on the field a little bit more, which is good because he can be a threat with the ball in his hands. Then on to Swift. He was 1 for 19 through the air, 1 catch for 19 yards. It was a really nice run, actually, run after the catch. It was a big play on just 2 targets. So like I said, got to get that kid more involved. Amendola went 1 for 18 on 2 targets. KJ 1 for 14, AP 1 for 10 yards on 1 target each. They spread the ball all over the field. I saw no Cephas. I don't know if he didn't dress. I don't remember seeing him out there because KG came back, Kenny G came back, and I did not see Cephas out there. So Marvin Hall had a really big catch at late in the 4th to drive him to score a touchdown, and they got a holding call from Big V, which I thought was it seemed like it was a SOL type thing. It was like, oh my God, nothing can happen good for us. It was a beautiful throw and catch too. Stafford heaved it, and Hall just got right underneath it. He was covered too. He was covered well, and they got called back. It was a big play too, real long play. On to the Cardinals. Hopkins went 10 for 137 on 12 targets. He had a day. Kept him out of the end zone though, so which was really nice. But he torched Okuda on a lot of plays. But I'll talk about Okuda later on too. Isabella stepped in as that number 3 guy. Turned out he was the number 2 all day because he went 4 for 47 and 2 touchdowns on 4 targets. They probably should have thrown him the ball more. Daniels, their tight end, went 2 for 24 on 2 targets. Keyshawn Johnson went 2 for 24 on 7 targets. So they held him in check pretty good. Chase Edmonds, 2 for 21 on 2 targets. The other tight end, Arnold, had 1 for 11, 2 targets. Drake, 1 for 6 on 1 target. And Fitz, they held Fitz to 1 catch for 0 yards on 3 targets. So they held Fitz in check, which is really nice. That was probably confusing. That's probably had something to do with confusing Kyler Murray too as well. Because Murray was confused all day, like I said, guys. He was just confused. They did a good job mixing up coverages on him. It was just something. It was really good to see. They must have talked. Obviously, they talked because they practice all week. I'm just saying you can't do what the Lions have been doing. They've been sticking in like man for like 81% of the game, and this doesn't make any sense. It just don't make no sense. You know what I mean? So you have to mix it up. So then they went defensively. Walker had 9 tackles. Okuda went 6 tackles, 1 pick. Harmon had 3 tackles, 1 pick. Should have had 2 picks, but he dropped 1 in his hands. Romeo Okwara had 2 tackles and a sack and maybe a couple pressures. Jamie Collins had 1 tackle, 5 assists, so he led the team in assists, and he had an interception. They mixed up coverages, like I said. They just did better things. Shocking that it worked? No, keep doing it. You just have to keep doing it. You can't be so predictable. That's how you win football games. You can't be so predictable. No Julio Julian Okwara, sorry, though. So not sure why. 0 snaps again. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know why they're not playing him. We need a better pass rush, but we're not doing it. Prater, like I talked about the special teams as well. He went 4 for 4 on field goals, 2 extra points, hit a 39 long, and Jack Fox, our punter, boots the hell out of the ball, guys. Boots the hell out of the ball. Had a 55.5 average. Just had a nice day. Some really nice punts, holding him inside the 10 and inside the 5 a couple times. Did good things, man. You don't want to hear too much about special teams, but special teams are big. And they can win you football games, man. Kicking field goals can win you football games, which it does, and it did. And having a good punter is special, and it's nice. It's nice to have. For the Cardinals, Budda Baker had 8 tackles. Hassan Reddick had 3 tackles and a sack. Devin Kennard, the ex-Lion, had 2 tackles and a sack. Corey Peters had 2 tackles and a sack. Jordan Phillips had 2 tackles and a sack. So they got the Stafford like 4 times. Got 4 sacks as a team. Didn't pick him off once though. I don't think they even came close from what I can recall. Some pressures obviously, but Stafford stood in there. That's a 35th game-winning drive by Matt Stafford, by the way, too. Okay, he has 35 on his resume, which is good for him in the offense. It leaves him in really good company. He's tied with 11th with guys like Palmer and Warren Moon, guys that are ahead of like Peyton Manning at number 1. Drew Brees is way up there. John Elway's up there at 5 or 6. So it's like he's in good company, man. So it's not just. I just hate hearing how it's like, oh well, if you know, where were you in the first 3 quarters? I don't want to hear it. Okay, it's just good quarterbacks will get you wins. You know what I mean? Can't do it by themselves, but they will get you wins as much as they can. And Stafford has the heart to do it. He has the talent to do it. So it's good to see. From what I took from this game, though, guys, it was just a really good game overall. I thought played. Offensively, they did what they were supposed to do. Stafford was okay. He wasn't great, but he made a couple really good throws, missed a couple good throws, threw a couple touchdowns, did what he needed to do at the end of the game. Took like 4 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock to go all the way down and kick the game-winning field goal for Prater, put him in great position. So he did what he was supposed to do there. It was tied at 23 at the time. Ate up all that clock, which is perfect. And they did what they were supposed to do. Defensively, I was surprisingly shocked at what they did. They mixed up coverages, like I said. The last 2 weeks, week 1 and week 2, they were 80% doing playing man, like 81% clip, and barely playing zone. They mixed it up, played a lot of zone, 55-60% zone in week 3, and won the game and confused the quarterback. They totally confused Kenyon Drake for most of the game. Okay, most of the game. Now individually, Individually, Okuda, you know, he got burned a lot. He got burned a lot. But what I like to see from this kid, and this is what I like about this kid. This kid, he doesn't give up. He doesn't give up. He keeps his head up. He never brings him. He never looks like he's down. Never looks like he's down. And he made 2 or 3 really good plays in this game. One on the nice interception. He had a really nice interception, which is good to see, because he needed that. And he made a couple TFLs, tackle for loss, on DeAndre Hopkins. One play was down at the Lions' end. Arizona was coming in to score, and he made a great play on Hopkins. Hopkins caught the ball, and Okuda came in like a missile, hit him low, took him down. It was beautiful. Then he did it again too as well. So he had 2 tackles for losses and a nice pick. He did get picked on though. That's what's going to happen. Now guys like Romeo Okwara, I kind of keep an eye on too. They just brought in Jabal Sheard as a visit, so that might have lit a fire under him a little bit, because he created a little bit of pressure, and he had that sack too, which was nice. Teron Harmon finally showed up with the pick. That's what we want to see. And Jamie Collins, I don't care what anybody says, Jamie Collins is one of the best linebackers in the league. He's top 15, top 20. He's a good linebacker. He needs to get more tackles, I think. He got some big assists, but the pick, he's a playmaker. He is a playmaking guy. He forces turnovers. He does that. He does that really well. So I really like that he did that. He just maybe get his tackles up a bit. But just like I said, I like what they did with mixing up the coverages. I like what the offense did all together. It wasn't a great offensive day, but it was pretty good. Stafford needed what he needed to do, and his weapons needed to do what they needed to do, and they went and won the game. Defense helped tremendously, though, tremendously. I never gave this team a shot. I never gave them a shot to win this game. I never did. And I have no problem being wrong on stuff like this. None. 0. So it's all good, man. It's all good. Win games. Let's see what they do. I can't get on board just yet. I'm not going to get on board, because I want to see what they do against the Saints. The Saints are coming in now. We got the Saints at home at Ford Field. Saints are 1-2. It's probably an angry Saints team. They haven't really found their identity just yet. I don't know if Michael Thomas is playing. I don't know if he's back. But if he is, Okuda's in for another tough stretch. He's in for another tough stretch. So far, that kid's faced Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and DeAndre Hopkins. Come on, man. Those are ballers. 2 of those guys are going to make the Hall of Fame for sure. 2 of them. Aaron Rodgers for sure, and probably DeAndre Hopkins. You know what I mean? And Devontae Adams, if he keeps it up, he probably will too. Okay? These are 3 ballers, man. 3 ballers, 3 legends. Now you got another one. 2 more. Because you got Drew Brees. Because you got Drew Brees and you got Alvin Kamara you got to deal with. But you got to deal with Brees and Michael Thomas, Jeff Okuda. That's the tough part. So he's just going to get better. But good win, guys. 26-23. Keep it rolling, guys. Let's hope we can just keep it rolling against the Saints, going to the bye 2-2. You know, I can't buy in just yet, because I want to see how they react to a win like this. I want to see what they do, because if they come in there and they start playing man, start doing what they did the past couple weeks, and not focus on what they need to do, then they're just going to go back to losing football games. But they have to. I don't know why they switched up. Somebody must have been fed up in the organization. Somebody must have got to somebody. Corey Unlin must have got to Patricia and said, hey, what's going on, or vice versa. I don't really know, because from what I understand, from what I keep reading and hearing, is that Patricia does not think his defense is a problem. So obviously it's a problem because they switched it up. So I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Patricia said, okay, man, I got to put my ego in check, and I got to talk to my coaches. I got to listen to my coaches, and let's switch some things up. Or it was Unlin saying, I've had enough. You didn't bring me here to do this. Like, you know what I mean? You're not bringing me here to do this, man. To just lose football games and just be, stuff that's not working, and we just don't worry about it. Like, we have to switch it up. So I'm glad they did it. Whoever got the who, congratulations on that. That's great. That's great. I hope it was a mixture of a bunch of people. Okay, so that's a good thing. So anyways, guys, thanks for listening to the video. Man, I love doing these videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell, that notification bell, get all my videos. Like and comment. It helps out my videos tremendously. It gets it out fast, and then like and comment. Like, comment on it, man. I like the negative feedback. I like the positive feedback. I'm coming at you either way, negatively or positively. It's up to you. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Let's have a good one. Go Lions. Beat the Saints. Boom.